for both of these guys, I guess. And yeah, with Breach out of the picture now, I'm interested to see how Baby Bay gets set up. But it'll be NRG on the attack first, and for the pistol, it looks like they want to go to A.
Yeah, definitely. And now well, they missed the 1v2. That's going to suck.
Doesn't work, yeah.
So that's going to reset things for FaZe. Oh, maybe not. He's about to spam through the smoke. They're dashing through it as well, and there you go.
Okay, I mean,
it's scrappy.
That is a very FaZe way of doing things there. I guess, you know, when in doubt, when things sort of go wrong, they default back to that sort of raw aggression. Shanks, yeah, okay, tries to take advantage of the fact that FaZe are quite advanced in A main. FaZe double back and get rid of him though now, and this is a little awkward because FaZe still have that heaven control. Raucus is still there with shock darts, presumably. And Zachary is ambling over now as we have a 2v3.
Yeah, and Yellow Jones going to spot at least one towards Hell. The turret also towards A main. So they're okay. They know that both players for FaZe are on top of Heaven, and they have a perfect crossfire for FaZe. For NRG, sorry.
NRG. Okay, Zachary, he's like a kangaroo!
No.
Oh my! What's that, Skippy? You want to destroy NRG on your own? Okay, no worries. It's a 1v1 now. Zachary is finally brought down. Android is still in a good position to shoulder peek this and try and get information. It's frustrating for Raucus, but Android is only 26, so just a couple of bullets through that wall will get the job done, but no. Raucus realizes that I don't think, he's not half defused, so he has to leave this one, and good composure by Android as Zachary just went ultra instinct on the site.
That's where one of the communications, by the way, Zachary jumping around like that definitely made you miss home, didn't he, Uber?
Oh, yeah.
But
exactly, mate, yep.
At that point, that 1 versus 1, there was a lack of communication because you have a Frenzy versus a Ghost, and you should have told your teammate that Android was on low HP. You saw how fast he melted Android inside Wine. I think if he pushed there a little bit faster, he potentially could have had the defuse at that point. But definitely good on Android to hold down towards Wine, starting from A main, run down that clock, and get that bloody pistol round that went back and forth into NRG's favor.
Did we get a one-way this time? Well, yes, but NRG are playing ahead of that utility, so they're already here on the orb. EU trying to crouch on it. Whichever way you slice the smoke is pretty frustrating for the attackers, but Android doesn't seem to be bothered at all. 5 HP and a dream and 3 kills for his troubles.
His teammate dashes away, his other teammate runs away from the recon or whatever, it was EU there, and then he's just sitting out in the paint shells and mows down 3 and already has an ultimate moving into round 3.
Raucus sees the tripwire there and it's going to peek out, but this is not long for this world. No way. NRG, good start for them, and it seems like none of the eyes, again, were on Android. It's not the first time we've seen that happen when he's been sort of stuck in a position where he's able to get a lot done. But hey, listen, I think you can forgive FaZe for playing that very aggressive style on around like that. Now they buy guns. They're going up against NRG's bonus. These are the ones you don't want to let go begging. This is, by and large, considered to be a map that favors defenders who are able to play good fundamentally.
Definitely, and now we're in this 3rd round here. It's going to be a bonus for NRG. I don't think that they're going to use this running back at the beginning. I think it's going to be fairly slow. The recon dart towards mid, trying to figure out how FaZe might be playing towards this mid side, because the last few rounds were all focused towards A main. They still don't know how the B side is being played. They don't know how Cat's being played. They know how mid is. This is a great opportunity to figure that out right now as FaZe are on a gun round.
I don't think any of this is surprising to NRG to spot the Omen here close to the tree, but run it back already for Android. That's because of the brace of kills he found in the prior round. This is, I mean, it's free. It's free information, free kill, free side control for NRG.
And a rifle too. FaZe is going to kill him off the ult, but that's good enough to allow the plan for NRG. I thought he was going to use it, but he gets a kill out of it. You're happy with that.
Nice by Marv there just to finish off the door, but make sure he was out of line of sight of anyone on the other side of it there. Another post plant achieved. Oh, that turret didn't last for too long. Som, as soon as Baby Bay peeks in, oh, he crouched! Ducked under the shot there from Baby Bay. So random. And now Shanks is stuck inside Hell, but I mean, Raucus was hoping to send him there for real, but a Cloudburst is going to make it harder to dig him out, and Daps gets rid of Marv on the periphery. That leaves Zachary on his own. Nice damage on Shanks, but Daps is full health. Zachary knows where he is. No. And again, Zachary! The young thug steps up, gets FaZe a huge round, punches NRG. They're coming out on a bonus. It's costly for FaZe, but at this point, they'll take it.
Yeah, the first 2 hashtags that you probably see in chat right now is unbind the crouch key, and the second one is why peek. But you understand why Daps is trying to peek that one too. He didn't go for the full peek. He went for the body to try to bait out a couple of shots. It's just the way that he peeked into the A main. He thought that Zachary was going to come towards that left side of default, so he wanted to be shown halfway. But unfortunately, Zachary had the better angle, and Red daps better, and that allows them to get the defuse. And look at that. It's a 4-3-2-1-0 carrier countdown on the scoreboard for FaZe.
That's right. That's how long have you been waiting to do that, Vance?
Probably 18 years.
Okay, 18 years. Finally got it. What a moment. Daps here with the customer and camera. Doesn't spot anything on top of the cyber cage, though. I mean, Sully and Upmine are going to be so jealous. They're going to be fuming. Alarm bot in mid here, which is not really always where you see it getting put. So there's some information. Cloudburst as well from Baby. Look what that does. In effect, it pushes Someone Android back just a bit.
Yeah, it's gonna stay calm for a bit though, right? They have this bench control for NRG. FaZe, thankfully, at this point for NRG, they're gonna be on such a low buy, so they're kind of spread out. They just want to try to go for trades wherever they can, but it's just gonna look to be NRG's. Like all the stars aligned for them to pretty much get this round.
Paranoia whizzes past Daps and Zachary. Kind of has to intuitively figure out when to peek this. Baby Bay gets rid of EU there, but it's a 4v4. There is a lockdown available for FaZe after Zachary's prior heroics. See if there's any real application for that in a moment now, as most of NRG are shacked up in Boathouse here. Hoping a trip to the Caymans might alleviate this FaZe problem, but
oh, I like
no,
this.
they're going to have to leave the site now. They're being evicted. Before he gets the paint shells on the Daps here, Baby Bay mildly flash, but gets around the corner. They defend that at 2 players at the tank. Oh my! Zachary, the warden. NRG get put in the slammer, and FaZe get themselves 2.
Okay, so I cast a curse this. I said the stars were aligned for NRG to get this one just because of how spread out FaZe were on that defense on that half buy that they had, because we only saw a classic Tor spawn leaning towards Baby Bay, potentially going for an operator later on into the rounds. You had a Bucky into the site that the distance allowed for NRG to get into the site, but one thing that they omitted to think about is the ultimate from Zachary. The way that he clutched it on that previous round, the way that he got those bunny hop kills with the classics. He already had that ultimate into the 4th round, and putting it in front of the switch where it's not spammable from the back of the site was a deadly position for NRG in the end. He had no escape.
Baby Bay staunchly defended that lockdown as well. Yep. You know, it was placed by the switch house there. So there was a chance it could have been destroyed. But Baby Bay puts his life on the line to protect that. Really clever. FaZe even it up here, and NRG are the ones that have to go down to the big irons, but Baby Bay's got bigger dreams. Shanks and Android 4, now to 4v3. Baby Bay's ready to receive yet another foray from Daps in mid, and oh, why not make it 4? You've got to give this guy the ace. You've got to do it. And Baby Bay, he knows that the job's already done here, and this is huge. NRG win the pistol, but that's it. They have been stifled ever since then. Make it 5. He wants it. He'll get it.
I just wish that Baby Bay styled more with daggers, because if he actually went out with the Blade Storm, would have been a couple of more kills. He already had another Blade Storm in a few rounds. The way that he's shooting right now into this 3rd map, you saw it from that lockdown on that previous run and into this one. Look how immediate they were on how he aimed those. Headshot, long range, a dink, another headshot here. He's on fire this 3rd map. They really want to be that team to qualify to Masters right away. No matter what, these 2 teams have a second chance here, Uber, but they want it now.
Everyone blindsided by FaZe's sudden resurgence here, and hey, this is what FaZe need. Baby Bay with 3 kills on one side of Haven previously. He went quiet when they needed him most. Now, though, he's in the driver's seat, and this is pod racing.
Definitely, it's going to be very aggressive right now, but it's going to be Marv just waiting for this cage to open, and as soon as it comes down, he might backstab a few guys. No, there's a door that's closed. So well done for NRG to take over this A side. The retake from FaZe, and alert doesn't pay off.
That's sharp from Raucus. Catches Shanks before he can get towards Hell. Baby Bay sat inside the cyber cage here and doesn't mind. Okay, they're able to reveal some of the action. I think they see EU over towards main. Marv is just going to go and try and follow this up now. Wow, wild little peek there, backs off. Dark cover, very confusing for EU to deal with there. And there's some of that pace from FaZe on the retake. Realistically, man, I mean, NRG are down 2 players before the spike even gets planted.
Yeah, and the lurk from Shanks was a little bit too early, but at the same time, his teammates were falling down too quickly towards that A side, which is why he had to step on the gas a little bit more, and it gave his position away. So, like I said, NRG likes to put a lot of control towards his mid side, but it has changed a bit. I talked about Som doing that very often, but they're using somebody else. They're using a duelist that should help out for the entries. Go for the lurk instead.
Tactical pause here for NRG. They spend a little bit in that previous round. They still have a chance to make a bit of a force happen here, which is why you're seeing EU with the Guardian in hand. FaZe seem pretty good at catching NRG on the back foot while they're trying to execute, sort of mid-hit on these sites. So in that previous round, really high value kill there from Raucus playing from Heaven on A. Shanks was wanting to, again, do what he does, embed himself down in hell below the site, throw a cloud burst, just make himself really hard to dig out and force FaZe to part with more of that utility. But it wasn't the case, and FaZe are stacked with cash.
Exactly.
Baby, I mean, 12 and 4. That's no fluke, man. This guy, he's brutal.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, they're full of cash. And at this point, you know they've already bought fully. So this is what they have after their buy. So you know into the next round what's going to happen. Baby Bay's going to go with an operator. Baby Bay's going to have a Blade Storm to tie up with the operator. NRG are not out of this fire pit yet if they get this round after this pause. Because EU, they're on a force buy pretty much. He has a Guardian, which definitely is viable these days. We've seen people like Steel, people like Hiko, people like Sabrosa use it right now and effectively. And EU is another one of those cracked aimers that could definitely use this weapon. They have to win this round and not lose that many players.
May have been an early A hit there for NRG. Double updraft for Baby Bay. Spots everything he needs to see towards A long. He doesn't see Som, but he gets enough info. He knows there's no action A main. So this is really early that FaZe were able to make this rotation. They're ready for NRG. And oh dear. That goes awfully wrong for Baby Bay. The knives go missing.
I thought he was going to use him with an operator into the next round if they were going to lose this round here. But again, oozing with confidence, you don't care. You'll have it at some point. It's only round number 7. Oh, and a showstopper.
Oh that is a parting gift. That's like the goodie bag you take away from a party in 5th grade. Except,
hey, you forgot your Tupperware.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah, exactly. My God. Corey there. Very flashy style, of course, as he sends that showstopper after NRG. And a tactical pause now, whatever was discussed during that window is likely not so relevant in a 2v4 scenario with nothing but the Hunter's Fury available. At least NRG have the spike in hand. But I love the double updraft. People are like, why is he using that ability? Why is Baby Bay going so crazy? But the amount of information gained by that allowed FaZe to stack the B side like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he died, and look how many players are still alive.
Enemy remaining.
A moment there from Som, but he used at 4 HP, and yep, Zachary, oh no, gets him with the turret.
I love those. Those are like the most satisfying kills as me playing at Killjoy and ranked. It's just
kills
satisfying.
where you don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I did something because I had the great turret placement of where I could get my opponents.
You had the foresight. I see.
The big brain, galaxy brain, as you like to say. But no, definitely at this point, the conversation for NRG did not pay off, and they're back in a situation where they have to save. So whatever happens, the morale stays shattered here for NRG, unfortunately, but you're hoping that something comes back in the next round. So now you're going to buy just enough so you can buy into the next, and I wouldn't be surprised here, into the next round, the ultimates will finally come in for NRG. I mean, this is still round number 8 here, Uber. There's still a chance for NRG to come back. 2 rounds so far out of 7 is kind of like a norm. Going into the attacker side, sitting at 5, you're pretty happy.
Marv doesn't actually kill the Elder in there, but I think he's worried about lingering too long lest he gets jumped on by a bunch of players with frenzies, which is the right choice because here it comes. Bori, with open arms, he receives Android and Shanks and gives him a lethal bear hug to try and make their way through tree, and Baby Bay gets himself 2 from Heaven. Elementary, my dear Watson, that's what this round is. FaZe don't really need to reinvent the wheel to run over the top of NRG. Daps has to make it happen 1v3 with a frenzy, and that's just a little unreasonable.
Yeah, now they're seeing that FaZe is playing a little bit more passively towards this catwalk, right? So like I said, when they have Som that can lurk towards this mid side, if they could take control of this mid side first and he sets up that paranoia into tree or into garden, this could maybe help NRG a little bit more on that split into the site, especially with the run it back from Android. Now I think he's the one that's holding it right now, because he's gonna, okay, no, never mind. He's gonna give it back, and he's gonna try to run it back into the site here. So he's gonna bait out at least a utility from Zachary, but we'll just have to know how FaZe wants to retaliate because they have a Hunter's Fury in their hands.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more passive hold of B with Zachary playing from CT, and there's a bunch of nano swarms here on Speedway. This might be just the play here. Zachary won't be in the firing line early in the round, and Raucus can see if he can spot something. And that's huge. That run it back doesn't really get any value here. And Baby Bay finds Android. He's already on the wraparound, but I mean, Dabs is wrapping the wraparound. It's not enough. I
can't believe this just happened. Two guys pushing down towards that mid. The huge backstab, at least to get a plant.
Oh man, Dabs is not rewarded for his planning there. Som finds a valiant 3 kills in the round, but FaZe don't mind losing guns at this stage. They are full on money. And yeah, Baby Bay with the pretty early wrap through mid there. I think that's what happened.
Exactly.
Android just came out of run it back as well. So that Phoenix is being counted in the last few rounds.
So you know when I told you the most satisfying kills is the turret placement as Killjoy, right?
Yes, you definitely said that.
The most frustrating deaths are coming back from your run it back and nobody from your team is watching your body. So how did Baby Bay and Marv make it through mid, dashing through the B link and come back in a backstab, not only killing Android, but killing a second player in the process in B main? Nobody was watching that flank because Daps died, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was Daps going through spawn, I think, from Gelato. I think that's where he was. Again, Baby Bay, he may not get as much information here as he actually thinks. Good from NRG. They're not pushed up against the gate at the start of the round, so they don't get spotted. They keep themselves hidden. But Marv knows now just how far up mid Som is pushed.
Yeah, it's very far up at this point too, and now they're just going to try to back pace towards this B side. Actually, it's very good they got rid of the turret. The good news about FaZe, though, is Zachary doesn't want to go with popping his nanostorms yet. Now he does because he saw a little bit towards that B main. He could slow it down enough, and he's just waiting for his team now.
He's not ready for the jet. Shanks comes through, disembowels Zachary with the knives, and Corey gets revealed as he tries to make his way in. This is a short-handed retake attempt here for FaZe. I mean, yeah, they know Corey's there. Now they really know he's there. The Owl drone goes over the top. Corey's just getting hit with every form of utility. FaZe only have Blade Storm to work with here, so it's not as if they have any key ultimates to crack this site open. From the shadows for Som, interrupted. He remains in Boathouse. Daps is there. Not good enough. Baby Bay's going to clean him up with the knives up close. There might be something here. Time is starting to tick down, though. Shanks has to go forward, gets rid of Marv, and that definitely takes a lot of the momentum away from FaZe. Corey's going to receive the push, but it's just a kill at this stage, and EU is there for the cleanup.
Oh, they made a sidestep, so he's going to hear him, but at least he gets the kill. So that's very good. I like from EU. People might think it's a bait from his teammate, but to play that outside of B main, to just make sure that you can late flank into the B site as your teammates are still alive, it's a great play here for NRG on a much-needed round. They've lost 7 rounds in a row before they could actually capitalize onto the 3rd round of the half here for NRG. And now you just hope that it could take down the last 2 so that we have a much closer game into the second half. But it's not over yet. I mean, even at a 9-3 scoreline, it could still be very close in that second half.
FaZe have a bye this round. They have a bye next round as well, Van Silly. So NRG have to do this the hard way. Okay, Cloudburst in mid, a little bit of a shoulder peek, forces Baby Bay out of position as he takes the shot, and the showstopper doesn't yield anything.
What's an official Riot tournament without hard mode anyways?
I mean, FaZe don't seem to be bothered by that at all. No cheat codes required, just one crazy Baby Bay. Nice shot through mid there, though, from the operator. Real clean flick. And, oh, been there. Marv forced into a little bit of a desperate spray down. Baby Bay, though, is at least there to trade. So that is big. That's something that Android maybe wished he would have had after the run it back episode a couple rounds ago when Daps is, well, out to sea. Not much to be done there as Corey can make his peak. And NRG, I mean, they had some money coming back from that last round after losing 2 players. They can still work something here, but it will be a bit of spare change scrounged together.
Yeah, I mean, the round that they won on that 3rd one was a half buy, right? So they had sheriffs, and they still got the round going in using their ults into that. So using their ults into the site, that means they have nothing to work with into this last round here, with the exception of their own abilities and the low Spectre buy from Daps. They have to work a little bit more together here, and this time, it seems like they might just want to try to explode.
Standing ahead.
An early kill and neural theft before that ultimate is lost before the half seems to be the play for NRG if they can get it. Android just anticipating an A-long play here, but FaZe are playing fairly multifaceted over the course of this map. Their aggression seems to manifest in multiple different parts of the map, not just that A main. So at least orb control for NRG. There may be someone to get an ultimate online here, but Corey's ready for this. Oh, he was ready for Shanks to dash across the side. He's traded out early, but Marv's in the corner and at least finds one, buying a little bit of time for FaZe. Som does get the spike down. Baby Bay is a long way away, and here's that neural theft that have been held on to by Daps.
That's a big one too. That could actually change the chances and probability for NRG from winning that round. A one and done angle from where Corey is at, you're expecting his teammate to do a little bit more, but to make it a 3-on-3, NRG still has the opportunity to make this forward.
Som got revealed by that, but Daps is ready for the push over the top. Baby Bay, a very unlikely angle with the operator. He's able to find the kill, and in the shadows, suitably, is Som lurking away. He falls to Baby Bay now, and the 1v1 is happening. Cloudburst thrown out, it's a tickle. Baby Bay is very short on time here, and he can't see anything. There's too many particle effects in his face. EU puts him to bed, and that's 8-4 at the half here. FaZe Clan look extremely good on defense, but that's only to be expected. NRG have a chance to reciprocate on the other side of the break. The only thing that stands between either FaZe Clan or NRG and a berth at Masters is this half on Ascent. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our upper semi-final here at Champions Tour North America Stage 1 Challenges 3. FaZe Clan lead 8-4 as they go on the attack.
Well, I feel that another obstacle that stands between them is going to be Baby Bay. Dominating that defender side for FaZe. If he continues this on the attacker side, could be very tough here for NRG. But it starts off quite well with an aggression from FaZe into A site.
Shanks ignores Baby Bay as he dashes across the side. Android was already ready to receive him there. That's trust in your teammates. Corey and Raucus, though, make this interesting now. That's filthy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a spray. You got a couple of frenzies going on. I mean, the frenzy meta still reigns for a couple of the players. And the crossfire, because you want the utilities for the rest of NRG, was great to hold that. And now you're on a 2v1 with only 22 HP for Corey. NRG is looking good on his defense.
Recon bolt there just to... That'll ping Corey if he peeks out too far. Okay, he actually gets a look at E's shoulder, perhaps. So he sends paint shells across the side. None of those... Okay, Android takes a bit of a licking from those, but it's really... He can just throw down the hot hands and be at full health. This is a big job for Corey. He needs headshots. He needs consecutive headshots.
You know where they're at?
It's a big ask. Onto the side. Nope. EU's going to shut him down pretty quickly. And there it is, NRG. I mean, this is what they're looking for now. If they want to make this competitive, FaZe Clan have to do something kind of wacky to prevent NRG from getting very close to evening up this game. And look at this distribution of kills. Baby Bay is either the best player in the world or the bottom fragger on his team by a large margin in these games today.
And when you're asking for them to do crazy stuff, they've done crazy stuff before. We're talking back at that round on Bind when we actually did have that eco where they surprised a couple of players. This could still be doable here on this round.
Yeah, multiple thrifty rounds won by FaZe against NRG, who just took them by surprise with the pace. Obviously, at this stage, there won't be any of those ultimates online yet for FaZe. Android's got a nerdy little hot hands lined up here. We can see this one hit the skybox and bounce down into that cubby. And no one's getting out of that one.
Nice little shot darts too, just to try to prevent that type of push over towards that cat. Or actually, it came in from Raucus for them to just try to clear up the tree area.
Yeah, just that corner. Sometimes people hold close.
Yeah.
It's also conceivable that NRG take maybe a shotgun on a round like this. No charge. That was not the case. Baby Bay just expected. Surely someone from Garden tries to make a peek. Okay, so here's a Cloudburst. Baby Bay says, okay, I mean, that's all the invitation I really need. Shanks is forced to actually back away, but now Android steps up. So in tandem, Shanks and Android really locking this down. And Android can now return. He can top himself back up a little bit, take a bit of a sauna in the corner and phase it down to 2 players. 40 seconds in the round in the 2v4.
You definitely would think that Cloudburst with it was intentional so they could do the bait and switch, and even the lurk from Daps in the end, pushing out towards mid, confirms the kill and even pings the last player. That's very good for NRG to start things off here on the defender side, but here comes that big test. We finally have a gun round for FaZe. It's going to be a bonus for NRG. But the thing is, they haven't lost that many players in the process of the last 2 rounds, so you're sitting comfortably to play this bonus and still go for rifles into the next.
Shanks will rebuy. I wonder if this Ares is really going to be any sort of factor in this round. It's a pretty standard location, obviously EU in B main with the Ares. Again, you can get caught off by this kind of thing if it gets mixed in every now and then, and it looks like this is the round for it. I wonder what if Marv has all of his utility here. He actually probably still has a paranoia. So it's probably okay.
Yeah.
All right, no LMG shenanigans here quite yet. Zachary knows that the Sova is over there at B.
The Aldrone is going to spawn at least a lurk from FaZe. So they know that Zachary is playing towards that area. There was no turret. But at the same time, it's not that much that they could react yet for NRG. So nobody's really moving. They're playing, as I mentioned before, the heavy rotations that you like to play for NRG. So Daps is holding the A site by himself with the camera, playing all the way towards window. So his main fight is going to be towards that tree, so that his teammates can rotate from B over to the A side and fight on the heaven side instead, and he's going to pinch in from door. Hopefully he doesn't die in the process.
This also allows a stacking at B site for
Correct.
NRG. So it's not just the Ares there. There's a whole lot going on. Rock is tentatively sending this drone in towards tree and won't be able to spot Daps here. So, I mean, FaZe know nothing about the A site. We're down to 35 seconds. So here's that awkward situation, Van City, where a team has to make and execute with next to no information.
Yeah, and I just saw a jiggle peek coming in from Android. He didn't see much, and I think he got spotted by a turret. But after not seeing anybody, I felt like they might have should have rotated after.
Time for FaZe to fly by the seat of their pants, straight on into the A site. Immediately, Baby Bay is revealed. Daps is forced out of camera after only seeing the jet, but he can probably guess that most of FaZe have their eyes trained on this A site. Should be a retake scenario immediately. So FaZe, they get off pretty scot-free so far. We'll see what NRG do now. They really want to try and get control of tree. There is 3 players that want to get in here. Raucus though finds the off angle. They're not ready for it. Zachary can still hold the left-hand side here. Marved in a position to swing if he needs to. FaZe now with the player advantage. They had no information, nothing. They fly blind and they stick the landing. It's a 4v1 now, and Daps, who's been all round patiently trying to put something together, has a blow up in his face.
Did I miss anything? Because I didn't see curveballs and I didn't see any paranoia coming in from NRG on that retake towards tree. When 3 players are pushing aggressively right now on a crossfire from FaZe at tree side, 1 curveball would have definitely helped that double or triple swing from NRG towards that cat. I would assume at this point, because we don't have that type of we don't know because we can't see the abilities. I would assume that they used the abilities towards the B main to try to peek into the information, and then they had to body peek back into the A site.
They may have been saving them also for a hit onto that A site proper as well. Maybe they only thought there was 1 player in tree, so they think, okay, we just multi-swing this, and that didn't work at all. Very early kill there. That's the A main play there. So Baby Bay looks like he just held the angle, and Som went for a peek with the one-way. It didn't work out, so I wonder exactly what it was at Baby Bay. Maybe he was in cubby there, and there was no hot hands from Android this time.
Now with this gun round, it's the... Is it both duelists? No, it's actually Android and Daps trying to hold out towards that tree after losing a player early, and that's Smokes to play retake. So that's not going to pay off when you already have an early kill right there. I think you're just focusing on this split towards A, and it seems to be the case.
Nice call from Zachary. Shanks just got his ankles snapped there. Android, don't think he knows where Zachary is set up in mid here. So here goes FaZe again, and this time it's much more favorable post-plant scenario. They actually have decent control here. They know that Android has to try and gamble his way in. He might get tagged up on the Hunter's Fury, and he is, but he might have hot hands available. Big kill from EU onto Corey here makes it a 2v2, and all that killjoy utility, that's in the middle of the map. That can't be redeployed now by Zachary. Raucus has to just hold on, and there's not enough time. Zachary doesn't arrive in time.
He's coming back from the running back too, but there you go. You saw EU running back from heaven into tree to protect his teammate's body. So they're looking very good for this 2v1.
Great turn from Zachary, but he's got no choice but to peek it, and Android finds 4. Isn't that wild? NRG, they struggle in a retake scenario where they have all the cards, ostensibly. There, FaZe Clan get in for free, and then it's just individual heroics there. Android looked incredible in that round for 4.
I think that Zachary at that point, when he heard the run it back, if he only made it towards that catwalk, I think he might have still surprised both players due to the fact that Android already cleared the back of the catwalk towards Sabrosa before, where he didn't see Zachary. But nonetheless, I still think it was a great retake, a great 2v2 for NRG at that point to secure that round. And as they continue this, they've only surrendered 1 round onto the second half, so the economy continues to build up on these wins on their defender side, and they're just hoping to tie up as fast as they can in the second half and not have to claw back from a bigger spread like they have on that first map.
Baby Bay and Shanks both with Blade Storm this round. Also, Showstopper on the line here for FaZe. Glory definitely isn't the tip of the spear on this particular map, in this particular setup for them. And again, FaZe really just don't feel like applying too much pressure to B in the past. But now when they've drawn up a bit of utility, we see Zachary try and clear that close corner, and now this might be the staging ground. Here in B main is where FaZe make their push.
With no Hunter's Fury at this point, you could just plan on top of that. There we go. Puts it on top there, and that's going to be opening up the whole B site. You don't have a jump from the shadows to get into B, but still good enough to try to clear with a smoke into market.
The location of that lockdown, I think, is to avoid it being removed by shock dart there. It's going to be pretty hard to get rid of. EU finds two, though. Through the smoke, no less. Okay. Heads go rolling as Marv and Zachary know no more. And that was the lockdown just completely removed. I'm a little stunned by how that all went down. Babyface forced to use quite a few knives, is left with just the one, and that one also misses. He's lost them now. No spike planted yet. That's still left over towards the B main side here, and FaZe run out of gas.
I have to think that was a recon dart that came out there, because those kills went down so fast when you already had market and spawn smoked out for FaZe. So a great way to counter it. Hey, come into the site, no problem. We're just going to take you down through the smoke from the recon darts. FaZe should have been ready for that. They should have expected that it was going to land somewhere, and they had to maybe have one or two players at least ready to scan around the area as they make it into the site.
Bit frustrating there for FaZe, just as they looked like they were starting to get a real run.
Yeah. It started well, too, because they used great utilities to clear out that B main, right? You saw that paranoia. You saw the nano swarm into the B cubby. They flushed everybody out and grabbed the orb to actually initiate that battle with the lockdown into the B site. But they just fell short because, again, no information moving into site.
Hey, still those orbs being fed to Baby Bay here as FaZe. Maybe they're preparing for some pretty lean rounds where they don't have much to buy and they want at least to have Bladestorm available for entry. Shanks. Not really clear on which side of mid FaZe are posted up on now. Most of them congregating here on Catwalk, and that's big. I mean, we see the spike go loose there as well. Android says, I don't need to save the hot hands for my own benefit here. I don't need the therapeutic flames. I'm going to use it to slow down FaZe. And now it's Zachary with nothing but a ghost. Those of his teammates look on and have no idea how he's supposed to do anything here. Spike's still loose behind him, and he'll sit in the corner and look for an exit.
Even EU, pulsing one player with the Hunter's Fury doesn't even shoot the two other ones. But they don't clear the left side corner!
Two for Zachary, and a gun. 33 seconds left. Alarm bot placed now to make sure he doesn't get backstabbed, and all of a sudden, a plan starts to formulate itself in his head. He needs to check this corner. He does see the shoulder of Daps. There's an Al drone bearing down upon him from behind, though, so NRG don't want to allow there to be even a plant here. Zachary knows that he may just have to give it a tickle, but he's running out of time. 13 seconds. Okay. Sees the head of Daps, but Shanks comes in through from tree. That looked a little bit scary, and it's kind of wild, Vancilli, to see how just one of those moments can actually potentially turn into something big.
Yeah, when you actually get surprised by the first death, then the second person behind you, that also got surprised by Zachary. He wasn't expecting that at all. But after that, it looked definitely clear for Zachary to be able to get that round, because you saw the Al drone follow him and never shot it. It was like kind of like those NFL overhead shots where you'd follow the kickoff. Well, basically, they had all the information necessary to win that 3v1 no matter what. And with the amount of rounds that they've won in a row for NRG, they were okay to surrender those two weapons. Of course, you don't want to, but it's still good enough for them to win the round no matter what. I mean, they've tied it up 9-9, and you can't make it closer than this in the half that matters.
This match is delivering. 13-9 for FaZe on Bind. 13-10 for NRG on Haven. No more second chances here on Ascent, and FaZe know it better than any of us. A round where they finally get to buy. They know they need to take a tactical pause and discuss this. Already seeing a couple pings towards B main here. If FaZe don't do something here, NRG run the risk of running away with this whole damn thing.
Thankfully for FaZe or for NRG, no matter who gets knocked out of this match is still in this game. They're going to have to battle for survival versus Gen G in the lower round 3s. And right now it's going to be looking as FaZe trying to find some sort of solution that doesn't seem to work out in their favor right now on the attacker side. And they're opting for the op to see if Baby Bay, currently at 23 kills, is going to be able to open things up and unlock that door to be able to cross over that finish line for FaZe. But for Android, look at that. He's at 21 and 12. So he's been activated on the defender side too. So the ones that you want to frag are definitely fragging at this point, Uber.
NRG expected great things of Android. They sort of got glimpses of it during his time on Andbox. And this is where they need him to deliver. This is a coming of age for Android on this squad. Now, FaZe without Breach have one less tool to try and flood over the NRG defenders on these sites. So they need to be a little bit more subtle. There's more nuance that needs to be involved here. And those that know FaZe clan well know that to date, they've been about as subtle as a sledgehammer. Now they've got a little bit more depth. Let's see if it's enough.
And as they're creeping for this operator towards A side, it's so open right now. So they're okay to play a retake over here. They've already expanded a bit of utility from Zachary by clearing out one with the Nano Swarm. And this Owl Drone is only going to spot Corey, but it doesn't give that much. So no rotations coming in from NRG. You don't even have a trap wire towards mid, so you have to play bodies right now to make sure that this mid is under control. But why? What do they have right now for retake for NRG? They don't really have anything with this open site that was left behind. So this is a very interesting position right now for the defenders.
FaZe, who've always been a team to find some of their greatest successes in the most aggressive of plays, run the risk of kind of being paralyzed by indecision on this round. Walking into Shakes.
No.
What? Shakes was holding the angle already, but still Babybay's able to find a kill. That's not okay. That's going to make his way through mid. The door is obviously shut in his face, and now with the showstopper sound ringing out, NRG know it would be folly to try and peek out into this at the moment. Som in Boathouse, he's ready. EU finds the head of Zachary now, and things start to get a little awkward for FaZe. They're running out of time. 12 seconds on the clock. Heroics from Babybay as he finds yet another kill, but he needs more. He needs more. Android gets his third, and FaZe's hopes go up in a puff of smoke as once more it's Android with the brace of kills to go 24 and 12.
Yeah, Shanks somehow, even if it was posted in that corner, wasn't ready for that peak. There was time for a double swing, and I think at that split second is like, oh crap, do I focus on Corey or do I focus on Babybay? And because of that spacing, you have that split second hesitation, and Babybay is the one that capitalizes on that. But the thing is, that recon dart, once again, as they try to get into the site for a FaZe, the recon dart from EU was good enough to help the team to go for a couple of sprays, hold down the attack, and also allow Android to find the positions and the kills for the round for NRG to take the lead.
Again, FaZe are making these hits, though, with little information, right?
Correct.
They want to play fast into B. They get a pick, which is great, but they still don't know what is waiting for them on the site. And arguably, they maybe don't have the tools at that point to gain said info.
They had a showstopper and still weren't able to open into any type of information getting into sight. So yeah, it was definitely well played for NRG from a recon dart to stop that.
Not the kind of vintage FaZe they or their fans probably wanted in that round. Here's a lockdown to A. This one will remain up. No Hunter's Fury available for EU or anything like that to try and clear it out here. But again, Babybay's still walking into this blind. He still quite doesn't know what's happening. There's one player that's been detained by this, but NRG can use this as a bait.
This is definitely good enough. This is definitely good enough. I mean, they surrender a site, but there's going to be the run it back for the retake too.
Babybay smoking harder than a coal power plant there as he realizes how many players could potentially leap upon him. Okay, Marv, I mean, he's in a great position here to interrupt that wrap from EU, and now NRG are worried. There could be more backstabs. Marv could try and pressure the heaven position just a little bit more now. You've got a Jet in hell. Looks like with knives. Yes,
wow.
Shanks goes down as well. Babybay once more on the kill feed. 5v3. What an important round for FaZe to win here. This is a thrifty round. I can't believe this. FaZe lose a previous round when they get this huge pick. They walk into a site and somehow they make it happen again with so little to work with.
We talk about players from different teams that are able to play good timings, and FaZe just demonstrated that. The timing from Marv to be able to get that backstab into mid, which from when you saw the run it back from Android with NRG, everybody played towards the heaven side. They couldn't split, they couldn't pinch into the door because they had to try to keep the body alive from Android should he actually successfully make it into the site and also runs it back into his body. So because of that, it allows Marv to get into the garden and backstab himself into the heaven side while you have a timing from Babybay with a jump right click into heaven. I mean, there's nothing but good things from FaZe on the thrifty round on that post plant from that lurk.
And that's one of the rounds we actually see FaZe use mid more than probably any other time during this game. They get marved up there and they force NRG to just get corralled in heaven on A. Now at 10 and 10, FaZe just have no interest in doing things the easy way. Once more, they do get pretty comfortable access to the A side. But again, it's what happens after that's important. They have 2 players still in A main, 3 in fact. So any backstab could be quite risky.
Big paranoia too. That came in from A main, but with that, it's just everybody from NRG are just going to split into the site with 4 players at the doorway.
Yeah, I mean, that smoke does essentially cut 3 FaZe players away from the A side there. Raucus, he doesn't need to be on the side to get damage done. Now Hunter's Fury comes through. Corey meets the L drone. Shanks meets his face with the shorty. Zachary's going to get pushed into by Android now, and Baby, he gets a quick double. Can he make more? The spray transfer was almost there, but 3 is going to be more than enough. Or will it? Android with 3 of his own. This is a big moment, and Marv is able to stand tall. FaZe, again, unlikely circumstances yield another round win for them, and NRG are running out of options.
The blinded Hunter's Fury into tree side from Raucus actually was the trigger for NRG to just push into the site. And as they do so and got a couple of kills, they didn't think that there was going to be another person lurking towards that tree side. Again, not getting that control because they can't get spacing towards that tree allowed that lineup to happen. And I think that was Marv, right, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, NRG were a little bit confused of where the action was coming from, and FaZe definitely capitalized on that for that round. It was close, though. Android almost won that 1 versus 1. He had to play quick, but it's just trying to play it smarter towards that wine side to win that 1 versus 1 for FaZe.
Well, you can just see how much Baby fears NRG overextending there from A main, right? He cloud bursts and dashes away. Decent amount of that utility already kind of used there, and it's just a paranoia from Som that really strikes. The fear got into him. There's nothing here in B main to spot this, as far as we know. It's actually, I mean, this is such a good read from FaZe, Vancely. NRG's a loose grip on B, to say the very least.
Because they've loosened up A side every single time with no players in there. Now they play semi-loose with more players and more bodies towards that side. Now it's an open side towards B. This is
what a read.
Really, really good for FaZe, definitely.
Whether it was coincidence or something other than that, FaZe are again getting a pretty comfortable post-plant scenario. They need to, I mean, they have to convert this now. Android is able to break the door down. He's been the one that's called on most of the time to make things happen here. The trouble here is that Daps probably won't have a great opportunity to get neural theft here unless he gets Corey in the middle of the map. No good. Corey on a very late lurk here. Vancely, this is getting a little bit tense now. Android has 2 curveballs available though. Recon comes out. Som, nice shooting there with the Spectre. Is this happening? NRG with 2 left. Som's going to barrel right into the face of Marvin. It's going to be Corey left on his own. It's a 1v2. The defuse is half. The defuse is not there. Corey gets the clutch. Then NRG, their bank accounts get absolutely boomed. FaZe, what a heist.
I thought Corey was way too far. It wasn't going to happen. From that late lurk towards mid, that kill on Daps was huge. No neural theft, but again, a dart that comes into the B site. It clears up the area for NRG to get all of those kills, but somehow one player stayed alive just to make things a little bit more difficult for NRG to capitalize on that retake to give just enough time for Corey to get those kills. And you saw how late it was for them to turn around and get the crosshair placement from where Corey was coming from. Because they know that Corey's on a plane, but they didn't know where.
Oh no, this is classic FaZe now. It's inexorable. I mean, death taxes and FaZe running at you when they know they can probably win the game. They push straight on in, they get that early kill on Som. He desperately tried to get away with that shrouded step, but that's not going to happen. Run it back to use for Android, and he actually gets a kill more than just the information.
Not only that, he killed utility.
For NRG, eventually, maybe some hope here now. Nano Swarm used up on the high ground there, but Raucus may put it to bed with a shock dart. Baby Bay gets revealed, but he's got the knives. He fancies a little bit of argy-bargy. EU goes barreling in, and Zachary shuts him down. FaZe Clan, out of nowhere. In 2 challenges series where we expect them to be pretty much tier 2, they look average, and they claim on things like Twitter that they'll never change. They'll always play this way. But we were wrong. It's Baby Bay that'll never change. The rest of the team, their structure allows him to do crazy things like drop a 30 bomb on a decided map and qualify for Masters.
FaZe, at that point, thanked the doubters when they qualified for First Strike. They're doing the same now as they qualify into Masters. Well done to this team. It was a hard battle between both of these teams, but FaZe definitely shined in those last few rounds.